morning, ladies and gentlemen. Voice of One Wheel coming at you strong on a Wednesday, noon Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. We are here in Studio B, and Belly is going to be out today. We miss him. Belly, I don't like doing a show without you, sir, so we'll try to hold it down in your presence. Hopefully, I won't go too far off the rails. It looks like we've got at least a decent stream going on in here, so it should be pretty visible. And I wanted to do something for you guys today because, really, I miss you, and it is time that we come back. We have stayed away for long enough. We have game planned for long enough. I had a plan of what I was going to do, and I did not follow through with it because I didn't want to. I am not a big fan of bashing Future Motion. I'm not. I get stuck because I feel like there's a responsibility that we have here if we're going to call ourselves the voice of One Wheel, and if we're going to do a show that is supposed to be the voice of the community. I take that very seriously, and there's a responsibility there that I have to represent the majority of the masses in the best light, but also some of the people who don't stand in the majority. You know, everybody has a voice, and just because yours isn't most popular, it doesn't mean you don't deserve to get heard. And so, you know, it's hard because I don't agree with a lot of the things that the company's doing. Like I know there's a lot of people out there that are up in arms today, and quite frankly, I get it. If you're not happy with the new ad that custom fenders have, that Future Motion put out an ad where you can basically customize your One Wheel now. They have what looks like, I don't think they're float plates. I haven't had a chance to look too much into this. It looks like bumpers is what they are, colored bumpers for your XR. And I guess your Plus too, but you know the commercial that they put out. If you want, you can go check it out on their YouTube page or wherever. They have like a box of donuts, and they're all different colored donuts. And then all of a sudden, everybody grabs a donut, and then it's the One Wheel circle, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, you see all those colors from the donuts. They're on like custom fenders from Future Motion, custom bumpers from Future Motion, and that's cool and all, but you can see why, if you're new to this, you're like, yeah, so what? Good for them. That's awesome that the company is doing that. But there's a lot of people out there that have already made these, that have made businesses selling aftermarket products, and they're not making a ton of money off of these. The margins are really, really thin, razor thin for people who are trying to make a living off of aftermarket products supporting the thing that we love so much. We love the One Wheel. And if it wasn't for people like 8 to 10, Justin Lewis, Jeff McCosker, Float Life, Jeremy Gavin, OW Armor, the guys at Craft and Ride, Nick and Mike, I think it is, Michael Wolson with Ori at Flight Fins, Corey I still don't know how to say his last name. Corey, I love you, dude. Corey Bahini. It's not right, but whatever. I love you, dude. He's One Wheel Batman. He's down in like jury duty right now because of another hit and run that he stopped in Florida. He's got like metal float plates, steel float plates that he makes. All these things, aftermarket products. These are people who just love the One Wheel. They're stoking out so hard on it that they're loving it. And they want nothing more than like to be supported. Let me ask you a question. You guys think I'm crazy because I say Wheel Talk was bullshit. That's completely ripped off from us. It's why do you think I take it why do you think I take that personally? It's like if they had just supported us and been like, oh wow, this is a really cool idea. How can we help? Can we get on the show? Can we help you do this? I wouldn't want them to try to frame what we say, but it would be nice if they would actually try, if they would say something like, hey, we would like for you to maybe like talk about this. Can you talk about this in an upcoming show? Why don't we do this together? Why instead did you come out when we put Voice of One Wheel out on January 2nd? I did a month of promo leading up to this a year ago. Okay, back in like December 1st, my birthday, that's how I remember it. I started putting out stuff saying on January 2nd, we are going live. January 4th, Wheel Talk, first one. And it was like, yo, okay, fine. But then we started realizing things were happening where it was like we would have somebody on, and then a week later, that thing would either be shut down or those people would be shut down. And that's where I started being like, I'm not okay with this, man. I mean, if you want to get into it, we had just the other day. My God, I remember we had the Cobra Pad on. This was a little while ago. We had a Cobra Pad review. Within like 2 weeks, they came out with the Sure Stance Pro. They came out with the back pad. It was like, okay, okay, people do want that. Let's release ours then. All right, fine. And then we had poor Vitaly Borislav down in New Zealand came on our show. We highlighted a website that he was using. It was something like onewheel.nz. And it was basically, hey, if you're out down here in New Zealand, it's not that easy to get on a one wheel. Hit us up and we'll come and give you ours and you can try it around. We'll teach you how to ride. You can come to us. We'll help you out. We'll get you riding. After he came on our show, shut down. Future Motion gave him a cease and desist letter because it had one wheel in the name. And then I'm like, well, all right, our show is Voice of One Wheel, but they've also come on our show and they've supported our show sort of by being on it. And so I think there's precedent there. There's not a lot to say. Then we wanted to do something where we had to take One Wheel out of the name so they couldn't come after us. I was going to call it the Voice of Fun Wheel and start referring to it as a fun wheel from here on out. Because if you don't want us, the entire community pumping your name, and if you're going to go the lengths of copywriting and trademarking, literally the letters OW together, they can come after you. Well, fine. Then you don't get any of the publicity, and we're just not going to refer to it as One Wheel anymore. We'll just call it a fun wheel. But nobody wins like that. Nobody wins like that. That's where I've been this month. It's not like we've been just chilling and I'm just out in LA with the palm trees. Actually, it's pouring rain right now. Go figure. I've been trying to figure out how to address this because it's like, we had, what was it, Soren Curry came on the show, came out, and he was like, hey, yeah, check this out. I've got this cable. It allows you to, bridge two chargers together and you can charge your board in like half the time. Boom. 3 days later, they come out with their hypercharger. I'm not saying they made it in 3 days. I'm just saying I feel like they have all these ideas, and as soon as they see that the community accepts it, okay, rush it out. And it's like, all right. So if you're new to this and you don't know the backstory, and hello, Social Media Lounge, good morning. I hope you guys are having a great time in there. I see you. Yeah, you should probably only get, okay, that's true. You are probably only get the left audio. Yeah, the only reason that is because I'll show you why you're only getting left audio. Guys, I know today is not normal. I know that. I absolutely know that, but I didn't want to just not be here for you. We don't have the laptop we need, and I'm not going to buy a new one. I can't add an adapter because we're using all of the USB ports. This thing, I just need the one that's at my house. I need my other laptop. So I didn't want to do nothing today, but you'll notice I am plugged into this guy over here, and this left channel is my microphone. This one over here is a different mic. So you're only getting left channel. That is correct. I figured that would be a little bit better coming through the microphone than if I just had it like the microphone of the computer. That would have been worse. So yeah, I know it's a little wonky. It's all right. We'll just kind of all get through it together today. But I will be back in Studio A with Belly in tow to, next week, Tuesday at noon. We're excited. We've got guests lined up. And I got that guy who's going to come on. He made a post that was like, hey, I joined this and I'm glad to be in all the groups. But yeah, apparently I have to make a video and start a YouTube channel. And my God, what is all this about? I'm so tired of every single person doing the same type of video. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, why don't you come on here? I'd love for you to talk about what it is you'd like to see from our creators in the group, because there's a lot of people looking for creative ideas. And he was all for it. So that's awesome. I love that. If you have a complaint about something, let's talk about it. Let's learn from it, and let's see what we can come up with together. Maybe we'll come up with some new ways to record some videos. Yeah, maybe it is getting a little stale. We're all sitting in the winter waiting to just get out on our boards, and all we're watching is everybody else's videos, either from LA or Miami. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. But what I wanted to get into a little bit is, and just thank you for listening. I know it's a little odd today. Belly, we miss you. But, yeah, what I was going to give the backstory is just that I'm not really sure how much you guys know. If you're watching in the Social Media Lounge, you're probably an OG, and that means you do know what's going on. But a lot of people watch this later. There have been many, many, many letters written by Future Motion to vendors that are telling them that they are no longer allowed to keep their vendor status if they are selling aftermarket products along with the one wheel. So, like, for example, I'm just naming one that we know. Well, let's just do a random one. Joe Schmo's ski shop. Joe Schmo's ski shop. Okay, cool. Well, Joe Schmo wants to start selling one wheels, so he applies for a vendor license, and they say, all right, cool. And they ship him some one wheels. I don't know how it works, if it's like at cost, if there's some sort of like deal so that they can, make something off of it. I don't really know how that works, but I do know that now if, Joe Schmo has gotten a letter in the mail saying, hey, heads up, being that you're now a vendor for us, you cannot sell, float life float plates at your store. You can only sell future motion products. And a lot of the vendors were like, whoa, that's kind of not okay. Like, it's not up to you, which ones we sell. And there's a lot of pushback. I know, some of the biggest vendors in the world are dealing with this. And of course they have other stuff stocked. Maybe they have some rails. Maybe they have some custom, some wraps, some nuke wraps from OW Armor. Like, maybe whatever it is. Flight fins. Maybe they just want to carry a set of flight fins. And if you want to buy flight fins, you can buy them right there in the store. Nope. Can't do it. Future Motion doesn't want you doing that. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong to do that. I don't agree with it, but that's their call. It's not my company. But what people are up in arms about is, now, just 2 days ago, they came out with that ad that's saying, check it out. Look at all this custom stuff that now you can get through us. How do you feel about that? Can you pipe that into the social media lounge right now? Like, I can't take phone calls. But I'm really curious how you feel about that. Does that rub you the wrong way? Does that seem like if you were the company owner, if you were, somebody running marketing, is that something that, maybe they knew might rub some people the wrong way, but hey guys, sorry, like, you don't work for us and we are, Future Motion, so we're going to be the ones putting out the products. I get that they want the control. I mean, you can send your board into them, a plus that's broken, and they'll, if you bought it a year ago, it is capable to work with like charge and ride setups because your battery controller or whatever the board part is, when you bought it, it works with charge and ride. But now they've come up with a fix for it, and if you send your board in to get your bearings changed, they're going to switch that out so that you can't ride charge and ride anymore, regardless of whether you did it. They're just switching out anything that allows for the previous stuff to happen so that they can get the most possible control. Shocker, the people in our group figured out the switch for that real quick. So yes, you can still charge and ride, but dude, they're trying to control what happens to their board after it leaves their facility, and I don't know how I feel about that. I know how I feel about it. I don't agree with it. So I went down to the skate park. Let's see if I can get it. This is a shot of Studio A. And hopefully the next picture that comes up will be Studio B. We went down to the skate park in Venice. There it is. All right, so this is at Venice Beach, and we went down to this skate park. This is just a picture off of the internet, but this is the actual skate park, and it was actually that view that I was looking at. We were standing right there, and what we were doing, Maddie Potts was holding the camera, and I had a little microphone, and I was asking people, and that's what I wanted to show you guys today. We'll do it next week. I was interviewing random people that walked by, skaters, viewers, because people will just like line that and they'll just go and skate. I mean, they'll watch the people skating. There is this like 8-year-old girl, like Hawaiian girl, who was just crushing it. I mean, soaring through the air because she weighs like 80 pounds. She's like that Gustavo guy's kid who just like sends it on the one wheel. She was ripping it around, and all these people are watching, and I'm just asking people as they walk by, hey, can I ask you a couple questions? I said, I would start them off with, do you ride a skateboard? Do you have any skateboards? Like, oh, yeah, I got like 5 or 6. And I'm like, cool. And how do you, with those skateboards that you ride, do you pretty much just like ride it stock, like right out of the store? Or do you do anything to customize your boards with like trucks or wheels or anything, grip tape, anything? And they're like, most of them are like, I mean, we did get 1 or 2 that were like, oh, yeah, I don't really care. I just ride it out. No, okay. And I said, okay, cool. But a lot of them were like, yeah, no, I mean, I customize everything. I mean, I get my own trucks. I get my own wheels. I want to make sure that it's made to my liking. And I would say, that's cool. What would you say if the company that made your board wouldn't allow for you to do that? Why? That was the response from most of them, was just, why? Why would they do that? That doesn't even make any sense. I had people who like hardly spoke English, and they were like, well, that doesn't make it, what? Why? It is counterintuitive if you want to make something that is so widespread like skateboarding, to think that you're going to have the manpower and the operations set up to keep that kind of a control if it grows the way that like skateboarding, for example, does, or snowboarding, for example, does. Snowboarding and skateboarding are things that are widely adopted, and that's where we want this to go, right? I can't succeed without Future Motion succeeding in this realm, like... The flight fins aren't going anywhere without Future Motion succeeding, without the success of the board. Same goes for all of us. But how are they going to scale it on that kind of a level, a skateboarding level, if they're going to try to maintain what you're putting on your board after it leaves their facility. It would be great if we bought their stuff. Make better stuff then. You know, the community's out making cool-ass shit. Why don't you hire Robert Allen? I mean, dude's got a soccasin that you could put around your wheel so you can ride around the snow. He's got a front snow catcher, like a fangs for the snow. I mean, the dude's got all kinds of cool stuff that's innovative AF. Let's talk to him. Let's start bringing the people into the community. Do you know why there isn't a second board this year? A third board? Do you know why? There's a reason that they didn't come out with the board in January. That reason is because they don't want to take the time working on a new board. They wanted to take their time really working on getting into the community. I have that on a source that I'm not going to give up, but that's from a reliable source. They're not trying right now to make a new board. They're trying to get back into the community and really work that angle. And why I was like, great. When I heard that, I said, great. Then that's what they should be spending their time on. We don't need a new board right now. The Gemini update was cool. I'm down with an XR for another year. That's fine. But then I saw how they're going about it, and they're basically taking people who have good ideas and telling them to stop it, and then they're going and implementing those ideas. And that's where I'm a little bit like waiting for my letter in the mail. Quite frankly, I don't think it's rightfully so, and I'm not afraid to change the name or whatever it is. If we have to start talking about other boards, I'd prefer not to do that. But if they don't want the attention of us talking about this, it's never going to get to where we need it to go. It's not. I mean, I had people that were mad at me yesterday because I was going to talk about the Leaf Tech with Rich Jones on the show for like 5 to 10 minutes and do a little bit of a review. And they're like, mother effer, this is the voice of One Wheel. Stop talking Leaf Tech. You see how dedicated these listeners are, Future Motion? Like, these people love your stuff. I do. I'm on my third board over there. That's like $4,500 I've spent on you guys. 35? 40? Whatever. It's early. But, you know, we want it to be the right way. We want this to go the right way. And I'd love for you to, you know, how do you embrace yourself in the community? You embrace the community. You don't shut them down. And I think what they're thinking is, all right, if we piss off the 200 people in the community that are making a difference, who cares? Because we'll pick up the 10,000 new boards that we sell to random new people that don't know the difference. They don't know. Do you even know who 8 to 10 is? Do you know who Justin Lewis is? He makes float plates too. Like, he's not. There's other companies that, like, new riders just like, oh, I haven't heard about that in a while. Like, do you even know Landsurf? Who that is? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're a new rider. There's new riders every day. And so I think they're just kind of like, all right, we're okay losing those 200 people that are like influencers because, quite frankly, nobody is an influencer like we are. We can put out something like a 6-minute wheel talk and us cutting down a Christmas tree and riding through paint, and they'll eat it up like fucking idiots. And that's what it feels like to me. They'll eat it up like idiots. I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So I was going to change the name of the show to The Voice of Fun Wheel. Start referring to it as a fun wheel and never calling it a one wheel again. And I'm not going to go that route. If they're going to come after me, they're going to come after me. I think that would be a shame. And I think that would actually look worse for them than, you know, me having to shut down the show and change the name and do all that crap. I mean, dude, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to grow this sport. I'm trying to do what you all want. I'm talking to Future Motion. What everybody wants here is to grow this board. Let's do it the right way. Let's go on the social media lines and see how everybody's doing. I hope vendors join forces and gain a ton of visibility and engage all the new customers despite their efforts. I like that. Thanks, Emily. To Killer Clown, they show people doing things on these boards and then void the warranty when we do it. Do you remember when they showed the smashing of the champagne bottle against the side rail, right? And then you got people who are sending in their boards. They've never ridden in the rain, but of course they get that stupid freaking email. Oh, water damage to your board, $450. Do you want us to do it or no? But I didn't. You guys are smashing champagne bottles all throughout. You know, get out of here with that. I can tell you, man, that really makes a lot of sense. That would bug you. Bob Nicholson says it was pretty funny that at Float Life 2 they came to make content, but every board was so modified that they only showed the group ride footage. Did you know that? That's a good point, Bob. That's a good point. They had people there that were there to, like, film people riding, but they were, I think, instructed not to film any of the boards that had custom stuff on it. Like if it had any aftermarket, like maybe a John Rambo magnetic fender, Nope, can't have it. So those poor people that they sent down there to take footage for Float Life Fest 2 couldn't really video any of the boards because they're all modded. Everybody mods their board. I'm like the only person who doesn't have a fender because I just love the way it looks strictly stock. I do. I'm not a modder. Look at me. I am not a modder. I got the blue rails, a stock Vega. I've been riding a Vega for 2.5 years now. I don't care. I'm good. All right. But that doesn't mean there are people out there who aren't like me and want to mod their boards. Most people do. And the people at Float Life Fest couldn't even take video. It was funny. Who put that out, One Keel? Who put that out that blacked out their board on Instagram? Was that Stro? One Keel writes in they blacked out their board on Instagram. It's true. They took a picture of somebody at Float Life Fest, but then they blacked out the rails and they wrote something in. I forget who it was. Was it Stro? You guys helped me out. I remember seeing that. In fact, I reached out to that person, so I feel stupid that I don't remember who it was. But I reached out to that person. I was like, hey, are you sure that's your board? Like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, dude, check that out, which is kind of crazy. Let's go back up and through the social media lounge again. They're playing catch-up so hard. They must be frustrated that all the dope one-wheel content has third-party accessories, so they can't share it on social media without acknowledging the existence. Yeah, and that's exactly right. They're trying to flush it out so that they can start, making. They're trying to just infuse the market with all their stuff so they can finally start taking pics of it. It's like we're just renting the board, says Clark Kaler. That's a really good point. It's that they keep selling BS instead of making electronics right. Yeah, no, that's a really, really good point. You guys are on. Oh man, this is great. Thank you guys. Apple sells Belkin stuff that they don't make competing products for, and some they do cases. It's not going to stick. You think so, Tim? You don't think this is going to stick? That's interesting. Turn your headset around. Oh. You guys are funny as hell. Yeah. Very good. My board's black and red. Can't remember who it was. I know, Keel. I know. I feel like it was Stro, but it might not have been. I'm not sure. So let's get off that, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that that's going on, and heads up. So, yes, it is neat. Does anybody know the price? What's the price of these custom bumpers and fenders that they're putting out? Does anybody know that? Has anybody looked that up? That'd be interesting. Like, I wonder if it costs, like, more than one of these, like, carbon fiber magnetic fenders, and it's just, like, a POS. Like, the $80. It's probably the $80 one, but marked up to, like, $100 because it's got a fresh paint on it. So you guys can do that research if you want and look that up and pipe it in. Same prices. Thank you, Tim. Emily, it costs your dignity. Oh, that is priceless. That is that one got me. Emily with the touchdown from the social media. Oh, that's good stuff. So, all right. What have you guys been riding? Are you excited? I can't wait to show you some of the videos that we've got lined up. I can't do it without Belly here, and I think the streaming would probably suffer for that. So we're probably only going to go about half an hour today. But, man, I just really wanted to kind of come back and talk to you guys and let you know that I'm excited to do this again. I can't wait. I missed you. It's been weird. But I really wanted to figure out how I wanted to talk about this. How honest do I want to be? I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I didn't know how much I wanted to talk about it, how I felt. I feel like I understand where the vendors are coming from because I wish that they would just embrace us, instead of coming out with stupid crap like, by the way, when the one that really set it off was the challenges. Like when they came out and started saying, hey guys, we're really kind of tired right now and it's raining outside. So like we were thinking like, since it's like shitty weather, maybe you guys could help us come up with some like challenges. I'm like, man, you can't even come up with different wording. We have a weekly one-wheel challenge Facebook group that we literally just held a whole week of challenges because it was shitty weather outside. Like, do you even know what you're talking about? It makes them either look incredibly stupid or incredibly rude. Like, either way, you're just ripping off what we've already done. And it's like, that's gotta be what people like these aftermarket vendors have to feel, what I'm feeling. If I felt it, and it's me making a connection, I know they felt it when they're watching their products get remade by Future Motion and then being torn off the shelves of all the vendor sites. That sucks. That sucks, man. So I get that, and I just want to speak from the heart on that one, So hopefully we can make our voice heard. I don't think it'll stick, where they really only allow their own stuff. Do you realize how much it would blow up if they would just embrace the fact that we've got people in the community that make awesome stuff? Let me tell you something. Okay, you don't want me talking about leaf techs, and you don't want me talking about unicycles, and you don't want me talking about e-skates and boosted boards and all that shit. I know you don't, because you love your one wheel, and you're right to do so. It's the best board out there. I have a unicycle, a Rad Mini, a stupid freaking leaf tech. It's the best. Okay? I'd love to try a Carbon Evolve GT. But other than that, it's the best one. And the only reason I wanted to start talking about other boards is because we're all out there looking for that stoke, right? And if there's another product that can bring me that stoke, then I'm going to be open to try it. But if you're somebody who's pissed off and you're all up in arms about this vendor issue and not being able to let other people make things that will make the board better, then you better not be against other people trying other boards. It's kind of the same mentality. Like if somebody wants to make a different board that could possibly bring you more stoke, let's not be the group that's like, one wheel or bust. Because I'm going to tell you something. I started joining other groups lately to see what I can come up with, and especially because of the reality show I'm trying to put together. Talk about that in a minute. But I had to go into other groups to try to get different members. In fact, let's take it from there. So what I was trying to do is all right, let me finish the thought. Sorry. It's a little wonky. I wanted to try to see what different communities were like, and I wanted to try to talk to different riders in different communities and try to get a mix of riders for the reality show. But you can't just join groups and then start asking, posting about like personal stuff. No group likes that. So I kind of had to like get into the groups, start ingratiating myself, and start looking at like how these things interact and respond and how people talk. Guys, nothing compares to the one wheel community. It's not even close. It's not even close. There are groups out there with 10,000 people in it, and they post like four posts a day. This community that we have right here, the one wheel community, is by far the most tight knit, the most passionate. They'll jump on you, but they're passionate. There's love there, and it's way different than anything I've seen in any of the other groups. It's something to be proud of. But let's take that pride and accept other riders. If I'm going to do a show that has other stuff in it, not the voice of one wheel, but if we do another show that has more riders in it, for example, the reality show that I'm trying to put together, I want a house where we get riders of all types of boards. And thank you if you sent in, a lot of people sent in submissions. So thank you very much. I haven't watched any of them yet. I'm going to watch them all together today. That's all I'm doing today is watching them together. But a lot of people have sent in submissions of themselves, introducing themselves, doing what I asked them to do, whether it's unicycle riders, one-wheel riders. I've got some e-skate riders that sent in some stuff. We've got some new people to talk about that I didn't even know existed, and it's really neat. But if we have a house that's full of riders, and then the idea is I would like to, and this is what so I'm trying to pitch this to somebody, and there is somebody out here that I was out having drinks with, and I was talking with Maddie Potts and Brax. We were sitting at a table. I swear to God this happened. This is exactly how it happened, just so you know exactly what this reality show stuff is about, okay? I was sitting at a table. We were having drinks, and we were talking about the one-wheel community. We were talking about this. We were talking about the aftermarket stuff. We were talking about how I was going to come back and address it. And we were talking about how passionate the community is, and that if you say it the wrong way or if you take the wrong stance, it might not land the right way. Me personally, I'm taking my stance, and I'm hoping it lands. I'm not going to say what I want to say based on how you guys are going to react. I say what I'm going to say, and hopefully, it means something to you. But we're sitting there talking about how passionate this community is, and there was a person at the table that is very close to us and is as connected in the industry out here as it gets. I mean, that day she was planning a luncheon for Spike Lee and Barbra Streisand. And it's like, this is somebody who is directly in the middle of all of it. And she looked up and she goes, "Is there a show here?" And the next 2 hours was spent, all of us at the table, putting together ideas for this show, this reality show that she's been waiting for an idea to pitch to a network about a unique reality show. And then here we are. And so it's not like she said, okay, put together a list of characters and let me bring it to the network. Maddie Potts and I said, instead of waiting for them to ask for us to give them something, let me put together something where I can show what kind of characters we already have in this community. So if you sent something in, please don't. Thank you. I promise you I'll do my best to get this picked up. But it's a long shot, folks, and I don't want you sitting there going, okay, it's Tuesday. He hasn't called yet. Did I get in? I'm just trying. I'm doing this preemptively to bring it to her, to spark her, to say, yep, there's something here. Let's bring it to a network. Okay, so that's where this is. And I probably shouldn't be talking about it. But, quite frankly, if you want to steal my idea and go and do it, fine. We'll see what happens. But no, it's going to, the idea for the show is you get a bunch of riders from all different types of boards, and then you put them in a house together, and you have a house board, you have a house one wheel, you have a house unicycle, a house everything, right? And we build a skate park in the back. And then each week all the riders have to ride, it's one wheel week. Everybody's got to ride a one wheel, and we're going to do these challenges on a one wheel. So you got all week to practice on the one wheel back in the skate park in the back. Get used to it. If you're a unicycle rider, you got 1 week to work on that one wheel. And then next week, we'll do the challenges, and then either somebody gets kicked off or whatever. You hold the point system. Next week, it's, unicycle week. All right, well, everybody better get to work in the back skate park and start working on their unicycle skills. And the point is to try to find the best, most overall talented e-skate rider on the planet. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then I'm hosting a podcast in the house, and that's the vehicle for the confession room. You know how in real world where they're like, oh my God, Jimmy doesn't ever do the dishes. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we would do that in a podcast format and then actually submit the podcast, and you can listen to it as like a behind the scenes every week. It's a good idea, and they're excited about it. But then the whole point is, these are the two questions that a network will ask, and this is what they're peppering me with. Yeah, it's a good idea. What kind of following is there? Thousands? Like, that needs to be in the millions. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But it's got, if we want it to break out, it's got to be something that's small first. Okay, fine. What kind of characters do you have? Because that's what it depends on. I was like, oh, I got some characters. And I'm like, okay, show me. So that's kind of where it is. And for any of you that submitted stuff, really, thank you. But I don't want you thinking like, did I make it? Don't even go there yet. It's not even at that stage yet. If it gets to the point where people are looking at it, I'll let you know, and then you can start thinking like that. So that's basically where we're at there. Let's get a patent attorney on your show. We honestly could. I would love, Clark Kaler, thank you for asking that. That's a really good point. We do have Troy Hendricks. There it is. I'm blanking. Sorry, bud. Yeah, once a year. Is he in here? He's done a lot of work with us. In fact, we'll have him on Tuesday next week. So that he can help us with a little bit of this patent stuff. You might need to change the name. Yeah, we heard. Yeah, are we going to do a weekly one-wheel challenge this week? The Killer Clown, damn right we are. You know what? It's about time. What would you guys like to see on the channel? You know what? No. That sounds way too much like the Future Motion. What do you guys want us to see? No. So, yes, we will do a one-wheel challenge this week. I will put it out today. That'll be fun. I know you guys are interested in doing that again. I'm really, really excited to set that up. So, very good. It's the best for city street riding, hands down. It's off-road, and alternatives have better tools. This two-stroke dirt bike. What are you talking about? Bikes now in here? What's going on in here? Man. Awesome. If you're looking at bikes, check out a Rad Mini. I really like mine. So that's about it for me, folks, and that's kind of the update of what's been going on. I would love for you to comment below on this video, please, because that's something that's going to help us out. Like, you guys got to understand, if I'm going to be pitching this to networks and they see I have 610 subscribers, that doesn't look very good. It just doesn't. And that's partly on me because I don't do a great job of marketing this thing. I'm like, if you want it, you want it, and if you don't, you don't. We're not here for the numbers. We are excited by them, but now I realize, like, wow, it needs to be way more if we want to take this where we want to take this. So please subscribe to our channel over at YouTube. Just head over to the YouTube channel TTR Studios. But the biggest thing that you can do, if you don't realize, the algorithms in YouTube will bump up a video that has a lot of engagement. So like it, dislike it, I don't care, but throw some comments down on the bottom. Throw comments down on the bottom of this video once it posts on YouTube. If you're watching this later and you're not in the Social Media Lounge Live, comment below. That's your job today. I need one comment from everybody who listened. Everybody in the Social Media Lounge, all your comments started coming through the chat. That counts for comments. So you're fine. You're clear. You don't have to go and make any comments. that if you're listening back and you weren't able to listen live, I need you to go and comment below this video just what you think about the aftermarket vendor stuff. Maybe they'll see it. Maybe they'll read some of this stuff. You know they're watching, so go ahead and comment below on the comment section of this video if you're watching back. And just let us know what you think about the aftermarket stuff. Does it bother you that Future Motion doesn't want anybody making third-party products? Or are you okay with it and them taking the reins and just saying, okay, guys, thanks. It was a good idea. We'll take it from here. Whatever you think, subscribe to our channel, comment below on the video, and let's see what we can come up with. Because it's time to start taking this community by the ball sack. Yeah, that's right. Tickle, tickle. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. All right. 2019 is going to be a hell of a year riding, and I can't wait to get after it. We're going to send it, and we're going to do it together. You guys have fun. Get out there. If it's raining, if it's pouring, it's okay. It's just a cut, like maybe one more month, man. We're so close. Think about that. The birds are going to be chirping. It's going to be spring soon. All the flowers are out. You're out riding in your T-shirt. Oh, baby. It's coming. So just be ready for it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, it's been a little bit of a clunky week. Back and better than ever, normal and regular programming next week, Tuesday at noon Eastern time in Studio A. I hope Belly is going to put up a... he's going to show you guys around. We did a whole new studio. It's completely different. It looks awesome. We've been working on it. And we can't wait to show it to you guys next week. So thanks for hanging out. I'm going to just make sure that there's no more comments or questions. Comments seem to be turned off on YouTube. Interesting, Rich Jones. Thank you, sir. I will check that out and make sure that they are able to be written. I'm pretty sure that that's just because we're live right now. And once we put this up, it'll go ahead and allow that to happen. Isaiah, you are absolutely welcome, sir. Chris Richardson, I love you. Let's end with some love for Future Motion. Thanks for making this crazy thing. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. I love this board. Let me tell you something, okay? I just moved out to LA. Everything in here is, and I'm back and forth. I'm not staying in LA. I'm doing both. So you'll see me in both areas, but I got a one wheel for the city, and it's fucking amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I live right off of Hollywood Boulevard with all the stars on the street, like the actual stars on the sidewalk, and I'm just like slaloming through them with my one wheel. Something I would never feel comfortable doing on a Leaf Tech, for example. Like the way that the roads are around here, they're cracked up and there's all kinds of like bumps in the side. There's no way you could ride that around here. If you ride a Leaf Tech, I'm sure you love it, and that's great. But the one wheel is by far the best thing out there that I've ridden, and that's why we love this thing. I can ride on the grass. I can ride through the roots. I can crush hills. I can ride on any pavement. I can ride anywhere. Who else can say that? Boosted Board can't say that. Future Motion, you did that. You made this for us, and we're thankful. We're grateful. We love this thing. We just want to be a part of what you're doing. That's all. And I think that's fair. We just want to be a part of it. Do you think they want us being a part of it? Not sure how we're going to represent them? I get that that's scary. I totally understand that that's scary. There's got to be a middle ground. There just has to be. And that's what I'm challenging us and you, Future Motion, to work together and figure out where is that middle ground. How can we do this together? Because I think once we realize that we can embrace each other, that's when this thing takes off. That's when this thing takes off. I love what they made. I do, man. I can't wait to get out and ride. Of course, it's raining, but it is what it is. You guys get out there, have some fun. I've had a blast with you today. Thank you so much. And Chris, you're right. We do want to make sure we have some stoke. Chris Richardson, senior captain team rider of TTR Studios. He is the man. Check out that dark side trick he's got going on. Chris, post some of that. Oh, I can't. Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, he gave me something to post, and we can't today. So maybe I'll put that on the Patreon. But he's coming out with some sick edits that have been really neat to watch. So thank you guys for your time. I can't wait to see you next week. I'll put out a weekly one wheel challenge today. So head over to the page, Weekly One Wheel Challenges on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. And once this goes live on YouTube, you get down there in that comments section and you get after it. Send. See you guys.